smooth. So guess what? You are at the pearl now. Remember, the biggest question in the pearl, your essence for contemplation is, how can I be of greatest service to the whole? So as you dive into this pearl, you may be surprised at the simplicity of the answer that comes through, right? And whatever comes through is from the universe, and you got to surrender to this highest service, highest calling. Everything that will come through is always going to be as a result of you opening your heart. So when you offer and open your heart, you return back to love, and the world will give you love, right? So the pearl brings your life into new perspective. And few of us have actually realized how to live a truly fulfilling life. So the pearl is all about simplicity, how to live a more simple life, right? How to be more fundamentally at ease. So there's a lot of information about the pearl, and the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra is also attached with this. Listen to this mantra because it's all about the jewel, the lotus, about really allowing for that money, for that abundance, for the DNA to be upgraded, to allow for financial breakthrough, for it to just flow on all levels, right? So look to the people in your life who you trust the most and go do business with them. Trust your intuition. Allow for your higher self to guide the path, right? Be one with it all. Remember that it's in your DNA what you are meant to do and how you're meant to trust. Okay, so if you've ever dealt with any of these are our karmic wounds that we all have. Economic keys to these karmic wounds that are on the screen right now, right? So the pearl is all about empowerment of the individual through the embracing of the shadows. That's how we release into our genius, right? So we can have the freedom to spread our wings and express our creativity and just be ourselves every single day, because that freedom is inside of us, and that is our birthright. So contemplate the pearl, right? Contemplate what prosperity means for you. Does your inner world match your outer world? Okay, so the purpose of life is to thrive. The higher purpose is to manifest a true meaning of prosperity, what it means for you. What is your definition of success? And in the 7F Manifesting course, I ask you that question, and I list a bunch of definitions of success for me, but this is your opportunity to also, like, if you haven't taken the 7F Manifesting, jump in there, create that bigger vision, go through the steps of doing your daily rituals so your vision can become more and more clear with this in mind, right? And if you've done the 7F Manifesting already, then now go in there again with all of these realizations. Okay, so because now you have a different perspective, right? Of you understanding yourself, your dreams. So whenever you discover your pearl, then you also have the lines attached to it. So let's look at the 6 lines of the pearl. The 6 lines of the pearl bring an end to the narrative of the lines and the spheres in this golden path, this quantum. These lines describe your version of prosperity. They also describe your most natural relationship to money and the true role of money in your life. Apart from bringing us back to sacred ordinance, the pearl can also be about miraculous. It forms within your life as an organic expression of your naturalness. So each of the 6 lines below, you can release miracles, right? And allow for the miraculous to come. As you complete these lines, you might therefore like to open yourself up to miracles. So pearl line 1 is all about simplicity. So if you have this line 1, in your heart of hearts, money really isn't important in your life. And we've seen repeatedly how the first line is more interested in creation than anything else. Prosperity for the first line is about being free to continue to create. So money is needed only to ensure that they can continue to create. This is why the first line needs to cultivate a vision of simplicity. You need to learn to live a simple life in order that you can clearly continue to create things. So you only need what you need that's essential for you, and get rid of what's inessential. If you have this first line pearl, then you are an example and a reminder for others to value a simple life. So the worst thing for the first line is clutter. So the moment you dispose of outer clutter, your inner clutter becomes clear too. And the opposite is also the case. Simplicity is about doing what you love in life. It is about being connected to the source of life through creativity, through relationships, through nature. So if you have this first line pearl, you must always stay close to nature. Even if you live in the midst of a city, you must find a way to bridge into the natural world that is alive and thriving. Nature reminds you of the simplicity and purity of life. Okay, line 2 pearl is all about recognition. So the second line is a paradox. It loves to display, but it doesn't do it for recognition unless it feels insecure. But the second line cannot help but to be recognized for its gift. It's effortless, it's laid back, it's natural, it's flowing approach to life. This means that the second line is here to learn to receive. It's so easy for the second line to give and express its passion, but the way the line learns to receive is through recognition. When your heart is open, recognition feels good. If you love yourself, then you will always enjoy being recognized. The pearl describes the harvest of your life. It is the fruit hanging off the tree that comes after the heart has blossomed in the Venus sequence, the heart-opening relationship sequence. The wonderful things about the fruit is that you can share it with others. The fruits must be shared. And this is what the second line does. It loves to share its fruits and its good fortune with those they love. As much as it enjoys the recognition, the second line also loves to see other people being recognized for their talents. So if you have this second line, you will always enjoy investing in someone you truly believe in. Your pearl also describes the effect of synchronicity, right? It brings surprises into your life as you express your heart and sing out your truth. If you're a second line, then prosperity for you is most of all about finding people in life who you recognize and who recognize you at a soul level. So look at your city if you want to know what you are really here to be recognized for. It is out of this quality that money and fortune will inevitably find you. Singing out, right, with the soul of recognition. Line 3 is in the pearl is all about celebration. Celebration for the third line, there's really only one use for money. It is for celebrating life with others. Party animal. The third line loves a party. It loves to entertain, be entertained, and not in a hollow way, but in an expression of loving life kind of way. So each pearl represents the crystallization of life. What essential principles are you here to embody? So in the case of the third line, it is about celebrating life. It's about sucking the marrow out of life and making the most of this juiciness of the time that we have here. Celebration can be expressed in so many ways. It can be expressed through life of service, warmth toward others, through writing the cutting edge, inspiring, giving gifts. So the third line pearl is a big personality in that they are life's catalyst, rouser, awakeners. The third lines will not let you sleep your mediocrity. If you have this third line pearl, it's possible that you will attract a great deal of money into your life. Celebration demands a steady stream of funding. So the third line also loves to spend its money on the things that it creates for other people's joy. So we have to keep remembering that which is essential in life. And that one thing that is always essential is enrichment. So third line is celebrating for the sake of joy. Fourth line, that's my line, is charity. Like the third line, the fourth line loves to share the money with others. However, the fourth line goes about this very differently. Charity is a very specific funneling of life force for the sake of helping other people. Sometimes people are in no state to celebrate, but need practical help because of some misfortune that has fallen on them. The fourth line pearl will end its life having helped many people. Its greatest joy is to touch the hearts and the lives of others. You can see how the line structure works. In line 1, life wants to only create. Life 2, are recognized by others. Life 3, celebrate life itself. And life 4, it gives back to the world. Each line plays a role in the harvest of the whole, because the Gene Keys are a holographic knowledge. We all have aspect of each line, but we also have an emphasis. So the fourth line emphasizes always on service. So if you have the fourth line pearl, then life will tend to bring you together with those that are in need. And when we are able to help others through the use of our gifts, then we feel great gratitude toward all of life. This gratitude is the hallmark of the fourth line. Our love is like a heavy rain cloud looking for arid plain on which to fall. So if you're a fourth line, depending on the specific karma of your gifts, you may also attract large amounts of money in order to be able to experience joy in giving to those in need. Remember, fourth line, you're giving from an overflow of the heart. Fifth line is all about power. Fifth line, pearl power. Line 5 is a line of responsibility. It takes courage in life to assume the mantle of responsibility. Many may come to depend upon it. The fifth line does this as naturally as breathing. So the fifth line is here to shape humanity at a much broader level than most of the other lines. Its gift is about wielding power. Power can be held tightly or it can be applied with a soft touch. So the fifth line pearl knows that it will always have the greatest impact when it allows others to be self-empowered, which requires the very highest of touches. With the fifth line pearl, you are here to bring great positive change to the world. So if you have this fifth line pearl, then you need to expand your vision of yourself to fit such a big mission. You are here to hide you are not here to hide your light, but to stand tall and breathe life into your lungs. So of all the lines, the fifth line has the potential to draw the most money into their life. Power requires money on the material plane, so in order to serve the whole, that money must be distributed practically and fairly. The fifth line is the modern-day Robin Hood. Its highest role is to balance the world economy by helping the wealthy to donate their money to those places and communities that are in lack. So unlike the fourth line, the fifth line is not in it for feeling of reward and connection to others. The fifth line carries out a vision of the sixth line. They are the only ones who know how this can be done. They are ultimate agents of compassion in action. The power of love. Okay, the fifth line. And the sixth line pearl is all about nature. So we began this journey through the 6 lines with line 1 of life's work, the creator. We end with line 6, nature. This 6th line synthesizes the 3 phases of purpose, love, and prosperity into one single simple paradox, that everything is perfect just as it is, and yet still there's so much to be done. The world we humans have created is far from perfect, but it is evolving as we evolve. Our purpose is to open our hearts and to prosper individually and collectively. Nature shows us that there is no such thing as a closed system. Every act is a magical act and has a direct effect on the whole, and fulfillment only comes through serving the whole. So each of the 6 lines has its natural relationship to money. The 5th line, for example, makes use of it in order to bring about manifestations in the world, and the 6th line looks ahead to a time when money is no longer needed. When Christ asks us poetically to consider the lilies in the field, he alluded to a universal goodwill and balance that exists in the universe. If and when we come to realize our true nature, then money will seem to us the most ludicrous of inventions. Even though it is a symbol of prosperity, we do not need it to prosper if we work together. So the 6th line brings us back to simplicity of the 1st line, but it also knows that we have to come a long way together. Our future is very uncertain, and if we need to move through planetary crisis, it may present us with an opportunity to begin again without money. So remember that the motto for the 6th line pearl is harmony of nature. So quick recap of how we embody these different things. That the first principle of vocation we embodied through our spine, right? Through the flexibility of our spine. This all about the spine. The second principle was the sensitivity of the solar plexus. So it's all about our belly. The third was all about our voice through the brand. And the fourth is all about simplicity of the breath. So breath work is all about embodiment of the pearl, of the highest essence, right? So this is why a lot of people do breath work. You really create and open up the space for transformation, allowing for more air in, and just really a transmutation of this energy. So now that you are finishing with the pearl, it's time to contemplate and really practice this embodiment with the spine, the belly, and the breath. Congratulations.